Hey, so here's the next video. The reason why I'm reading books is because I need to go ahead and get it done and completed for this year. Because I put down I'm gonna complete 100 books, and right now I have only completed 28 out of 100 books. So I'm like, you know what? Kids' books are perfect. I've done this before where basically I complete a lot of books by reading kids' books. And then or a lot of challenges, or some of the challenges out there by reading kids' books. But, and I can change it if I wanted to, but I don't want to. And the reason why is because I'm like, I set up this goal and I want to complete it and like get it done. Maybe I should do yearbooks. Probably yearbooks would be better. I'm trying to look at like. Okay, there we go. Now it pulls up my 2024 year. 162 books. So yeah. A lot of them were audiobooks, and let's see, what was it? Where was I at? This was 2024. Okay, so 2024, this was when I was driving around the country. So I drove for like 6 months, and hence why I finished like 162 books. And then, yeah, well, I finished 162 books. And then also, whenever I was driving like an hour to and from school, so I had no choice but to drive. And then in January, that's when I was staying on campus. So, yeah, I remember that. 2023, I read no books, and I should have. 2022, I read some books. I only read 20. What have I learned? Just read. Like, read no matter what. Like, even if it's kids' books. Like, I read Jack Frost, and books by Jan Brett were adorable. Yeah, I'm glad that I finally, like, finished some books out there. But not enough books, honestly. I will finish 100 books. 2021, I read 63. I found A Curious George seems cute, but like it's so depressing. Oh, it's so depressing. And then 2020, I only read 5 books. I read Every Tool's a Hammer. Out of the books that I read, 5 books, Every Tool's a Hammer was the least shelved. 24,000 people also shelved it. In other words, they want to read, they are reading, or they have read it. And then almost 2 million for The Giving Tree. Wow. The other books that I read were The Screwtape Letters, Uncle Tom's Cabin, and Tortured for Christ. I feel like I read more books, maybe. 2019, I read 5 books. 2018, I read 3 books. This is pathetic. 2017, I read 52 books. Okay, well, that's a little better. Two 2017. Oh, yeah, when I lived in the horrible state. Okay, cool. Anyways, so I did read in regards to your cousin, where it's basically like Amazon packages are in the closet and like food is everywhere. Did I forget someone or something? And props for your cousin for being like, all this is happening, but I know I did not forget someone. So that's a huge relief. It really, really is, especially when you're like frantic and anxious and all that jazz. So yeah. I am broke. So yeah, I wonder if that's also you, where you're like, I wonder if I forgot someone. I would make a list and check it twice and see like if you've double check and make sure you've gotten everyone. So especially if you're anxious about like forgetting anyone. In my case, I'm just like I'm broke. I think I'm gonna have this tonight actually, because I already had a thing of hot chocolate. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, the reason why I decided to bring out the books is A, because I need to read them, and B, because I realized I was like, okay, I don't think I have a story to share. Like, I don't know. So I was like, I'll go ahead and read you a story. And I found that as I'm reading the story, I end up like telling you about like different random stuff. So, especially since you like to hear stories, and so this is, I guess it's a win win for um, both of us. I end up reading a book, and then you end up listening to me tell tales or tell stories and listening to this. So, yeah, win. Okay, so this one is The Wonderful Things You Will Be. And I was like, maybe I should read it on my own. And I was like, no, I'm going to share it with you because it's you. Okay, caring, bold, and clever. What will you grow up to be? This book is a celebration of possibilities and the love parents feel for their children, whoever and whatever they may become. The Wonderful Things You Will Be by Emily Winfield Martin. When I look at you and you look at me, I wonder what wonderful things you will be. I don't know how to do this any easier. Maybe I should hold up a mirror. I do have a mirror. It's backwards. Like how you see it is basically how I see it. When you were too small to tell me hello, I knew you were someone I wanted to know. I can kind of sort of read backwards. For all of your tininess couldn't disguise a heart so enormous and wild and wise. And then also the other page where it's like, where you're too tiny to even tell me hello, I knew you were someone I wanted to know. Which I've read that whenever, like, let's say a parent loses a child due to SIDS, and from what I understand, it's due to the warmth of the room, for example. So if the room is way too warm, now a baby can be bundled up and nice and warm, but the room needs to be somewhat cool. And by doing that, it actually lowers the risk of SIDS. That's why, like, in some countries, I can't remember, I think Sweden, maybe a different country, it's over in Europe, basically where babies are bundled up nice and warm, and they're put inside of a carriage outside, and they're left out there. Babies will live and they'll survive, but basically they found that babies end up napping very well, and then the parents will go inside and like maybe have coffee or something else, but the baby ends up sleeping very well in that, and like, yeah, and it's like, wow, that's incredible. But again, the baby is wrapped up tightly, nice and warm. Well, not too tightly, but comfortably and nice and warm. And yeah, the baby ends up sleeping. So yeah, and then also you don't want to have the baby in an area where like smoking and yeah, things like that. So you want the baby to be in a somewhat cool house. So yeah. And yeah, and that's because like babies can't regulate their own body temperature for a while. But anyways, it's just reading that where it's like, I knew you were someone I wanted to know. I've read where women or parents who have lost their kids, they always wonder who the person might have become, who they might have been whenever they grow up. just they're like, okay, I never got to see the child be any, like, grow up and go to, like, elementary and middle school and high school. And my guess is that when you have a baby, like, your mind is thinking about the future. Okay, they'll be like this, or like, I wonder what they'll look like, and I'll wonder what they'll be like personality wise. And yeah, so that's why it's like so hard, is because you never got to see your child grow up and be a certain way. So yeah. All right. This is the first time there's ever been you, so I wonder what wonderful things you will do. Will you stand up for good by saving the day? Or play a song only you know how to play. Oh, and there's little mice at the bottom, right here. That's cute. Yeah, that is true. It's like there's ever been you. This is the first time there's ever been you. And then also on the drum set, there's like a kid playing it, and it says the missing teeth. That is cute. And there's records everywhere. Will you tell a story that only you know? It's basically like kids. It's cute. Will you learn what it means to help things grow? So planting. I wonder if I should do it closer. There you go. Will you learn how to fly and find the best view? Or take care of things much smaller than you? I know you'll be kind and clever. It's like a bunk bed, but they made a house out of it. That's cute. Yeah, my sister used to do that. It was a lot of fun. And folds. And the bigger your heart, the more it will hold. That's reading a kid reading a book to like other kids and toys. When nights are black and when days are gray, you'll be brave and bright so no shadows can stay. And then you will discover all there is to see. The Taj Mahal. Oh, cute. And become anybody that you'd like to be. This will be a lot easier. So, and then there we go. And then I'll look at you and you'll look at me and I'll love you, whoever you've grown up to be. It's sweet and cute. Ryan, see, I was talking to whenever I visited my relatives up my mom's side. I remember whenever I went out there, um, okay, good. This is it. I remember I went out there and basically my aunt comes in and she's like sort of like, and then she sits next to her dad, so my grandpa, and breaks down and cries, and I'm like, okay, just a normal everyday thing, occurrence. And then the rest of the family sits down, and then my cousin explains that she never told me what had happened, and what it is that her brother, so my uncle, disowned her, because he's like, yeah, you didn't talk to his wife. He said that he felt like she was ignoring her, and he said because of that, and then also because she invited his son to go to the funeral, and because of that he was not happy and disowned his sister, and then that entire side, like basically his sister and his nieces and nephews and his brother-in-law. I was like, that's dumb. Like, you're like, and he's fully like supportive and super loving of his wife and of his like stepdaughter. So he has one normal, like fully functioning stepdaughter, and then his other stepdaughter is autistic, to the point that she will always need help for the rest of her life. And then he ended up, so the lady he married is slightly autistic, and he went ahead and they ended up having a daughter that is also severely autistic. I mean, they can like talk and have conversations and things like that, but they will never, like, you can actually have a conversation with them, but they'll never be able to function on their own. They're very, very dependent on others. And so he went ahead and disowned his own son years ago. I forget why. It was just something slight, I guess. But my guess is that he was just like not happy over the smallest thing. And it's like, yeah, you're dumb. I'm more than happy to slap him if you want me to. Like, I'm just like, yeah, you're dumb. Like, just. And so basically, he disowned his own son. And he's like, seems fully functioning, and like the son basically is not autistic, so the autism gene is actually from his new wife. Yeah, so he is, yeah, so he basically disowned his own son because of that. And like, I remember talking to my aunt, and I was like, there might be a few reasons why I would disown my own kids. Like, if they killed someone, if they like were a child predator, yeah, there's a really good chance I would probably disown them. And then my aunt was like, I can't see any reason why I would disown my own kids. And so cool. So yeah, yeah, that's why it's like, you know what, I will always love my kids. So yeah. Actually, Reading the end of like Dracula and Lisa. TV show Castlevania. It's season 4, episode 10. Wow. I saw like maybe the first season of it, and I really wanted to like finish it, but I never did. So, yeah. Maybe one day I'll finish it. So, yeah. But yeah. So, just to give you a heads up, my battery is at 15% or so it might die while I'm doing this, but I will try my best. Okay, and I figured out how to do this a little bit better, and I have completed, after this book, I will have completed 29 books, so I have a few more books to read. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then what I plan on doing, I was told I can check out about 25 books at the time. So what I plan on doing, 60, 50, 40, 30, is checking out 25 books tomorrow, and I'll be able to keep that for a week. And then I might even like check them out, read them that day, because I don't even know what time does the library close? So what I may end up doing, waking up, and then the library closes tomorrow at 6, so I may like check them out and then read them that night, because my parents won't be getting in until 6. They'll pick their stuff up, and then they have to drive over to the hotel, which is about 30 minutes away. So probably about 6:30 they'll get down to the counter, or at 6:15. And then by 6:30 they'll have the car picked up, maybe by 6:45, and they should be back over at the hotel by 7:15. So basically what I can do is I can go ahead and check out some books, read them, because the library closes at 6, and then also I can read some of the libraries that are there, or not some of the libraries, I'll read some of the books that are there, and I'll just go ahead and like binge read them basically. And then add them to my list. And so hopefully tomorrow I can go ahead and finish like 20 books while the library is open, and then that night I can go ahead and finish like 25 books, so I'll read 45. So I will be done with 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, like 70 some books, and then I'll only have like 25 or so left, so... Alright, so I'm going to do this a little bit differently. There we go. And then... But yeah, I do hope that your cousin goes ahead and gets everything completed. And I is able to like get all the presents wrapped, and then is able to get all the food completed, because I know when it's like they're kind of stressed and such, so I get it. We're feeling overwhelmed, so yeah. Book, and then I'm going to stop and make a video based upon your aunt and her things. Okay. It says, I hope that you know and love who you are, for all the beautiful and unique and magical gifts you have to offer to the world. May you always look at life with your eyes wide open, be quick to learn from others, and see and celebrate the differences in all of humanity. Be kind to others and to yourself, and may you always believe that the world needs who you were made to be. Love, Joanna. Today is the day for the ride of our lives, when a confetti of color will float the sky. Plenty of pink, a bounty of blue, and orange and green and yellow too. Hey, you know what? I found... So whenever the camera is like outward instead of facing toward me, it does it correctly. We all play a part, both me and you, as we build our very own hot air balloons. We'll gather supplies and make them our own, and prepare to take flight into the great unknown. It doesn't take us long to see that we all work so very differently, including with dogs. And some of us work alone, and some of us work side by side. Some of us are quiet and like to think things through, and others prefer to chit chat about all we have to do. Some of us think through every possibility before we jump in, and some of us know what we like before we even begin. Sometimes we're scientific and rely on our smarts. Sometimes we're creative and lean into the arts. Mushroom. Some of us are resourceful. We like to work with whatever's on hand. Oh, it's a little bike with an umbrella and then a balloon. And some of us are extravagant. We like to go big whenever we can, including with a duck. Balloon safety. No. Yes. No. Trees. Yes, but this is no. Some of us are teachers and share what we know, but all of us are learners. Together is how we grow. So by now you can probably see how we all work so very differently. The mushroom. Where's the bird? I don't see the duck. Oh, there's the bike. Okay. And now we've done our very best, and now it's time to fly. See how beautiful it can be when our differences share the same sky. We may not look or work or think the same, but we all have an important part to play. All of us can be kind, compassionate, and gracious. All of us can be helpful, considerate, and courageous. So remember who you are. This is your life to live. Don't ever hold back. You have so much to give. You're one of a kind, and it's so clear to see. The world needs who you were made to be. That's cool. But yeah, I do hope that your cousin gets everything done. On to the next thing. I'm going to make the next video, but I'm not going to read a book. So that's because I need to go ahead and I want to get this done soon. It's already after 10. It's like 10:03. So yeah, talk to you later. Bye. Love you.